It's great to be here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. We have the weigh-ins coming your way in just over 45 minutes. If you don't have your tickets to tomorrow night's event, make sure to get them here at the box office or at AXS.com. It is the 100th championship fight night in the long history of the MGM Grand Garden Arena. This building opened up in January 29th of 1994 with Julio Cesar Chavez taking on Frankie Randall. Randall handed Chavez the first loss of his Hall of Fame career. Premier Boxing Champions was born inside this arena back in March of 2015. That was Keith Thurman's victory over Robert the Ghost Guerrero. Tomorrow night, it is PBC Pay-Per-View on Prime Video. That comes your way at 5 o'clock local time. In our main event, make some noise if you love these fighters. We got Gervonta Tank Davis. We got some Tank fans in the building. He will be taking on Frank the Ghost Martin from Detroit, Michigan. Here's some Frank Martin fans that have made their way into the Grand Garden Arena. Co-main event for the Interim WBC Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. We have none other than David Benavidez. He's taking on Oleksandr Gvozdyk. You do not want to miss that co-main event of the evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring up an outstanding comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, here is a very happy, and he loves the fight game. Here is Michael Blackson, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, motherfuckers? What's up, big nigga? Who's this motherfucker? That nigga built like a washer and a dryer, motherfucker. God. Like Rick Ross' daddy. Sit your ass down, motherfucker. Who's that? Who's up? What's up, brother, with them long sleeve shorts? I see you, motherfucker. Got Housewives of Henderson right here. How you doing? Who's in the building? Detroit in the building? Chicago in the building? New York, where you at? Los Angeles, where you at? Baltimore, where you at? Philly, where you at? 3 motherfuckers for Philly. DC, where you at? Vegas, where you at? Who am I missing? Oakland, where you at? God, that's you big as hell, brother. You are big as hell. You got stomach, titties, and muscles. Happy Father's Day and Mother's Day, motherfucker. It's gonna be a fun night. What you say, motherfucker? I see you up there with your big ass head. You tie your shoes, you flip over, motherfucker. Who's fun? Who's winning fight? Who's winning fight tonight? Who's gonna win a fight tomorrow night? Who's winning? Who's gonna win the fight, man? Who you putting your money on? Uh-oh, James Tony in the building? Stand up. Hey, you know, listen, I am undefeated in the dark. Turn the lights off, I'm gonna kick your ass, motherfucker. After 8 p.m., I've never lost a fight in the dark. You can't fight what you cannot see. It's called shadow boxing, motherfucker. Who else is in the building? What you? Shout out to all the single ladies with multiple problems. I see you. Happy Father's Day to all the road daddy. Where the fathers in the house? Fathers in the house. Where you at, father? Happy belated Mother's Day. I celebrate Mother's Day. I do not celebrate Baby Mother Day, okay? We don't care about baby mother, just the mothers. More Mexicans there. Mexicans in the house? Where my Mexican? Mexicans in the house? God, Mexicans are everywhere but Mexico, motherfucker. I went to Mexico. I said, well, yeah, they said we're not here. We're in Vegas and Los Angeles, motherfucker. If you're free tonight, we got a big show tonight at the James Mack Arena at the UNLV Center. Come out to the show tonight. It's got me, DC Young Fly, Brandon. Everybody's in the building. It's a music and comedy show. Pull up tonight if you ain't doing nothing else. All right, but let's go. It's time. The time is almost here.
One more time for Michael Blackson, ladies and gentlemen. Give a round of applause. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night will be the 100th championship fight night in the long history of the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Just to give you an idea, January 29th, 1994, Julio Cesar Chavez, Frankie Randall opened up this building. Also, we saw Mayweather and Pacquiao in May of 2015. PBC was born inside this arena in March of 2015. So many legendary names have made that ring walk here at this palace that provides unbelievable fight nights as we take a look at the rich history of the MGM Grand Garden Arena.
Every fighter dream is to fight at the MGM Grand.
Here's the live shot inside the sold-out MGM Grand Garden Arena.
There's so much history. Mike Tyson fought there, Holyfield.
There's nothing like it. It's an event, a major event here.
The expectations are a fight at the MGM is always going to be a mega fight.
Mayweather, Pacquiao, Canelo, Cotto, Marquez, De La Hoya, Tyson. The list goes on and on.
Para mí era un sueño pelear en Las Vegas, en el MGM, en una arena tan importante.
You know, it's unmistakable. That's where the legends have fought. I still get excited when I walk in that building. The history comes rushing back to you.
It's hard to appreciate just how big this place is, unless you take a look from the top row.
MGM Grand opened in 1993. This property had a buzz. We were literally only open for about 40 days when we hosted our first boxing match.
We welcome you to the premiere of the boxing program here at the MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas, Nevada.
To be part of that first night, just the electricity in the building and what it brought to the whole property.
And the first bout, Julio Cesar Chavez gets knocked down for the first time in his career and loses his undefeated record by Frankie Randall, unexpected. That was the immediate classic that tune-up what the MGM was about to bring.
And I remember George Foreman coming out. Nobody gave George Foreman a chance that night, and he's 45 years old. 45 is too old. Michael Moore is going to destroy him.
Michael Moore is down, goes Moore on a right hand. It happened. It happened.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
There's so many great moments. I get so like goosebumps from just thinking about it. The era of Oscar de la Hoya was unbelievable.
Oscar de la Hoya getting ready to take on Giorgio Campanella in our main event. My very first fight at the MGM, my promoter Bob Arum was building me into a rock star. The handsome young face of champion Oscar de la Hoya. From walking down the tunnels and hearing all the screams and cheers from women, it was completely sold out with women. The roars, the cheers, the acoustics sounded different at the MGM. I had to impress the crowd inside that arena.
Target practice as De La Hoya goes to the body and the head. And the towel comes in from Gotti's corner. And De La Hoya has a 5th round TKO.
Waving to the fans and blowing kisses to the women.
And the crowd's really into it now. A really solid right hand, right on the chin. And at the end, down goes the champion.
All I was thinking was, I want to fight there every single time.
Dancing, he's not really moving. He's right.
Big shot by De La Hoya. Working the body. Big shot over his heart. This could be it. Big shots.
Literally, the MGM built our careers, and I'm very grateful for that.
I see boxing at its best, the creme de la creme, the best fighting the best, right here in this grand arena January the 29th.
The Don King era, he would put up 5-6 championship fights in one card. Mike Tyson, Chavez, Holyfield. The quality of the fights was unbelievable.
He is back, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the one, the only Mike Tyson.
I always say that me, Mike Tyson, and Kirk Kerkorian built Las Vegas.
Tyson with a left hook, a right uppercut, down goes McNeely again.
Now that's not. Holyfield and Tyson had this unbelievable rivalry.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the bout you've all been waiting for. Tyson comes out fast. The chance of Holyfield.
Holyfield's closing his round like a champion.
There he is. Oh, down goes Tyson. A left hook. Tyson's in trouble.
Holyfield's on road now. He's taking a shot.
Either put Tyson down and end the fight. Tyson is not in trouble. Tyson's ready to go. The snake right hit. The counter stops the fight. And Holyfield has
I can't believe what I'm seeing. It's the most unbelievable thing I've ever been privileged to witness. And here comes the next fight.
The waiting is over. The rematch is here. What happened here?
He got bit, I think.
Evander Holyfield. Look out, he's pushed right here. Above us by Tyson. Oh my goodness, he's got a bloody right ear. Holyfield bit by a dirty Mike Tyson.
You know, everybody at that point thought Mike's career was done. But it made both Mike and Evander bigger.
fighting out of the blue corner, really needing no introduction.
Then came Floyd Mayweather and his era.
His biggest moments were at the MGM.
They've been stride for stride for this fight is over.
I'll never forget that. Floyd Mayweather in his great victory against Diego Corrales.
Floyd took the pound for pound from Oscar and Rana for more than a decade.
Somebody tell him that we're just getting started.
I remember being in the Golden Gloves and seeing Floyd fight Cotto and the MGM and seeing how many stars that was, you know, out there.
Boy, he's giving him some boxing lesson. What a show Floyd Mayweather has put on.
Pacquiao had some amazing, amazing fights at the MGM when he knocked out Ricky Hatton.
Oh my gosh, what straight left hook.
Mayweather and Pacquiao, you know, that fight, that was such an anticipated fight. The MGM just erupted. And I think of so many of those moments in my life that happened that were memorable moments, goosebump moments, holy shit moments, and they all came at the MGM.
Please welcome Saul Canelo.
It is deafening at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, Las Vegas. Listen to this crowd.
Es una arena histórica, ¿no? Creo que cualquier peleador quiere pelear ahí, ¿no? Por la historia que tiene, tantos años, tantas grandes peleas que ha habido ahí. Es magnífico.
Canelo Floyd was a very important fight. Floyd Mayweather was the face of boxing, and Canelo Alvarez seemed to be the fighter that was going to take that on Floyd.
No, esa noche estaba llena de mexicanos, ahí retumbaba la arena. Fue algo especial. Obviamente fue triste para mí, para todos los mexicanos por la derrota, pero fue un aprendizaje muy grande también para mi carrera. Convertirme en el Undisputed es una de las noches más importantes de mi carrera, y que haya sido en el MGM, pues es algo muy especial, porque va a quedar otra historia marcada ahí en el MGM. Y seguramente los jóvenes, los peleadores que vienen hacia arriba, van a querer, van a estar pensando volver a pelear ahí en el MGM, ¿no? Por toda la historia que sigue habiendo.
The transition from boxing as we knew it in Las Vegas to what we know today was because of the Grand Garden 30 years ago.
So many legendary fighters have fought at the MGM. this fight being a 100th fight at the MGM, like this history.
Me just being a part of that is amazing. It's gonna be a legendary night.
Some noise if you're excited for tomorrow night's 100th championship fight night. Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin coming your way. The weigh-in at the top of the hour. What a night it is going to be here in Las Vegas as Premier Boxing champions on a pay-per-view on Prime Video. What a night we are going to see as we have Gervonta Davis looking to remain undefeated against Frank Martin, who also holds a perfect record. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not want to miss this night of action. Nothing like being here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena for a big fight night. Co-main event, David Benavidez takes on Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Now, if Benavidez wins, he will show what a force he is at 175, but he does want a matchup against Canelo Alvarez if he's successful. Las Vegas, if you'd love to see David Benavidez and Canelo get at it, make some noise. First, he's got to beat Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Also, tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, we start the pay-per-view at 5 local time. It'll be Gary Antoine Russell, who looks to remain undefeated. 17 fights, 17 wins. All of his wins by way of knockout. He'll take on Alberto Puello, who's undefeated from the Dominican Republic. That one for the interim WBC Super Lightweight Championship of the World. To begin the pay-per-view, WBC middleweight champion of the world, Carlos Adames, hard-hitting from the Dominican Republic, matches up against the 2012 United States Olympiad, the former world title challenger from Cleveland, Ohio, now training out of Southern California, Terrell Gausha. We have prelim action. Get here early. 2:30 is when we start our prelims inside the ring here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. You will see Elijah Garcia, just 21 years of age, from Phoenix, Arizona, putting his undefeated record on the line from Wilmington, Delaware's own Kyron Davis. Also, in the super featherweight division, the rivalry between the Philippines and Mexico is renewed, as we have the former WBC featherweight champion of the world, Mark Magsayo, going head-to-head against Eduardo Ramirez. Our weigh-ins come your way. Top of the hour, I'm going to turn it over to DJ D. Miles as we inch closer to seeing the fighters face off for the final time. gentlemen, he is a social media influencer, a funny guy, certainly loves the sport of boxing, doing a great job all week long. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, please, for Bubba Dub, ladies and gentlemen. Bubba Dub, social media influencer, the hottest new comedian out there, doing a great job, has so much going on. Great that he's here for Gervonta Davis, Frank Martin, the 100th championship fight night in the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Bubba Dub, ladies and gentlemen.
Appreciate it, man. How everybody doing today? Make some noise. What my Baltimore family at? Make some noise, Baltimore. All right, Detroit, where y'all at? Indianapolis, where y'all at? Where my Mexican fans at? Make some noise. Y'all ready to see a great fight this weekend or what, man? Y'all ready or what? I ain't even supposed to be here, fam. I'm supposed to be at the crib babysitting them kids. Never. Hell with them kids, man. Let me talk to y'all parents for a minute, man. Is it me or is their homework harder than it's ever been these days? That homework hard than the motherfucker. That math, I didn't know that goddamn math when I was in school. How in the hell I'm gonna know that math now? My kids come home with their hard ass homework, I send it right back to school with a note on it. Y'all figure this shit out at the school. I got real bills going on in this goddamn house. Real talk, y'all. But I hope y'all enjoy yourself. The fight is on Amazon Prime. Make sure you go to the fight. If you don't go to the fight, buy the fight. Y'all bet not stream that damn fight, cause your ass going to jail. Letting you know right now, if I catch y'all streaming that fight, I'm calling y'all right now. Your asses is trash. Right now. So enjoy yourself this weekend. Give it up for Tank, give it up for Frank, give it up for Benavidez, give it up for all the people on the undercard, give it up for PBC, y'all. Give it up for PBC. And to all my fans, I love y'all, but some of y'all breath stink. Get some gum. I'm out.
Thank you very much, Bubba Dub. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting closer to the weigh-in. Coming up, top of the hour tomorrow night. 5 o'clock is when the pay-per-view starts, 2:30 prelims. You do not want to miss it. Buy your tickets at the box office, or if you have family and friends that are out of town, tell them very easy. It is PBC Pay-Per-View on Prime Video. We have 4 championship fights. It is headlined by Gervonta Tank Davis matching up against Frank Martin. Both men are undefeated. Co-main event for the interim WBC Light Heavyweight Championship of the World, looking to remain undefeated. David Benavidez matches up against the Ukraine's own Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Back to DJ D Miles as we get you closer to the weigh-in here in Las Vegas. gentlemen, we are getting closer to our weigh-in. Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin. That happens tomorrow night here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. It is PBC Pay-Per-View on Prime Video. Right now, though, ladies and gentlemen, a man who has fought inside this arena, now a renowned analyst all over the world. Check him out. It is the Porterweight Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the former world champion. This guy fought everybody. Put your hands together for Showtime, Shawn Porter. Showtime, you have fought inside this arena. You know what it's like to be a part of big fight nights. What does it mean?
I fought here once, by the way.
Okay, once. But you've been a part of some major events. You went ahead and had a big win over Adrian Broner here inside this arena. But what is it like when fighters compete here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena?
We love it. I mean, I even love that the weigh-in is open to the public and it's filling up in here. These fighters deserve it. We want to be seen. We want to show out. And when we hear that noise, that gets us going. You know, so that's what's most important about a big fight in a big arena like this. You fill it up and you give everybody what they want.
So you're telling me that the louder the fans cheer, the better you perform. You haven't been in that spot many times?
Listen, unless you're on the canvas. If you can't and you're on the canvas and they screaming, then you got a different story. But yeah, for the most part, you hear all of the good stuff, you hear all of the bad stuff. Sometimes you hear the stupid stuff, but it always pushes you forward, you know what I mean?
Now, Gervonta Davis in our main event looking to go to 30-0. Just looking at him by himself, how special is Tank Davis?
Special, man. He honestly has put himself in a class of his own. I always like to say that he's fought himself out of the shadow of Floyd Mayweather. I think he got more recognition than most fighters would at his age because of Floyd, but he certainly has burst through that shadow, and he stands by himself now. Power is undeniable, and the skills that go along with it. I love hearing Calvin Ford say, push them buttons, Frank, push them. Yeah, trust me, Frank gonna push them buttons, and we're gonna see both these guys do some things we haven't seen them do before.
Let's talk about Frank Martin. Frank Martin, 18-0, 12 knockouts. He's a southpaw. Trains under the guidance of Derek James. You know, his promoter is Errol Spence Jr. from Andon Promotions. But can you tell us about how good Frank Martin is? Because I don't think we've quite seen anywhere near the best that Frank Martin has to offer.
You know, first of all, I got to shout out Errol Spence Jr. Check out, again, the Porterweight Podcast. Check out the interview that we did yesterday. Phenomenal interview, but he said something to me yesterday on the show that I don't run into a lot of promoters and managers telling me that they've given advice to fighters. You know, seeing Errol on the stage with this fighter on the press conference, to me that was special. And then he told me, he said, I told him every fighter has to be here at some point. You tell me what champion never had that first experience. Everybody's saying you've never experienced this before. So what? At some point, they hadn't. Be yourself, be calm, be cool. And I felt like he was giving his fighter a lot of emotional and mental support, which is something that a lot of us need, you know? Once you get past that, though, the kid can check off a lot of boxes. Speed, power, quickness. He's very intuitive. He's a counterpuncher. He's not going to be running into stuff like y'all seen a lot of Tank Davis's past opponents do. You know what I mean? This one is going to be tactical. Enjoy the chess match, y'all. This one is going to be a chess match, trust me.
Does it mean even that much more, Shawn, because both guys are undefeated and there's such a mentality to defend that perfect record?
Yeah, you know, I think for Tank, the expectation is what was going to push him forward. You know, if there's any doubt at all that they're losing the fight, what's going to push him forward is the expectation to beat Tank Davis, you know? And then for Frank, not wanting to lose that really does mean something. I think for me, it meant something when I lost it, but I didn't understand it until it was gone. But I never looked at my loss like, well, I got a loss. It don't matter if I lose now. No. I wanted to win every fight, you know? But when you actually have that it does mean something. When you feel that fight slipping away from you, you can hold on to something. That is something that you can grab a hold on to.
Well, speaking of being undefeated, David Benavidez now fighting at 175, taking on Oleksandr Gvozdyk. for David Benavidez, now coming up to a new weight class, 7 pounds north. What are you expecting out of the undefeated David Benavidez?
You know, I think the challenge that a lot of people expected to see from him at 168, to me, there's no one that can challenge him at 168. Those challenges are now at 175. He's fighting guys just as big as he is. Gvozdyk, he's fighting guys that have a lot of experience, or he will be. You know, this is the first challenge at 175. I think that this will be one of the more evenly matched fights that we'll see David in. David has always had the X factor everybody's been in the ring with. Caleb Plant, for an example. Caleb just as fast as David. Most guys aren't as fast as David at 168. Caleb just as fast, but doesn't have the strength to keep off that monster. I think moving up to 175, the playing field is going to be a little more even. If anything, we'll have more speed with both the hands and the feet, and that'll offset everything for him moving forward. We'll see.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, obviously, David Benavidez, he has his focus on Oleksandr Gvozdyk here at 175, but we have heard throughout the week that he has no problem going back down to 168 for one particular name. We all know Canelo Alvarez. That's what David Benavidez wants. I'd love to see it. I'm sure you would as well. But in your estimation, how big of a fight could that be for the sport of boxing?
That is the fight, in my personal opinion, that David Benavidez needs to become a superstar in boxing. And I say this respectfully because this fight with Gvozdyk, I'm sure if I ask how much of y'all know what y'all know about Gvozdyk, it won't be very many people screaming, hooping, and hollering. You got to promote both sides. And I feel like when it comes to David Benavidez, we know him to be the monster. Let's talk about who he's getting in the ring with. You know what I mean? Let's talk about how great and exciting this fight is going to be. If you keep pushing the monster and the monster scaring everybody away, you know, you don't have anything to work with. Right now, Canelo Alvarez at 168 is the guy I think that makes David Benavidez the star. I'm going to say it. If y'all ain't seen the Port Away podcast, Canelo cannot beat David Benavidez.
Wow, you're saying that.
I respect.
Whoa.
I respect Canelo. He can't beat him. That's why he ain't calling his name. And I think in the last fight he had against Munguia in the post-fight, he hinted at fighting Benavidez. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we see Benavidez stay at 175 and fight his way to becoming the superstar that he should already be.
Possibly matchups against Better Biev or Bivol?
Oh, absolutely. That's what we're waiting on.
Can you imagine those fights?
I don't think we see Better Biev, but I definitely feel like we should be able to see David Benavidez get in the ring with Bivol. To me, that might be a 50-50 fight.
I love that.
That might be the 50-50 fight. I know, like I said before, we haven't seen David in a lot of contending fights where from round one to the end of the fight, it's been a competitive fight. At some point, he just takes off. With Bivol, I think that might be the most 50-50 fight out here for Benavidez.
You're on to something if he's able to beat Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Sean, you're a busy man. What do you got coming up on the Port Away podcast? How can people subscribe?
Port Away podcast, we're live every Tuesday. You guys subscribe. We're on every podcast platform. We're on YouTube. I always tell y'all, check out the YouTube because that's where you get to see the characters be characters. We love it on there. And we got a lot of comedians coming on, a lot of actors coming on, and we're taking it to another level. Also, our Patreon, subscribe to our Patreon, TPWP.
Ladies and gentlemen, showtime. Sean Porter, give it up. Of course. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting closer to our weigh-in. We have our announcers, Miguel Flores, handling the prelims, Jimmy Lennon Jr. after that. But I want to know, Las Vegas, if you're here to see Gervonta Tank Davis, make some noise. If you're here to see Frank Martin, make some noise. Co-main event for the Interim WBC Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. Oleksandr Gvozdyk takes on David Benavidez. If you're a fan of David Benavidez, Las Vegas, let me hear you. All right, we got our weigh-in coming up at the top of the hour. The event promoted by GTD Promotions, TGB Promotions, Man Down Promotions, and Samson Boxing, Las Vegas. We are getting ready for our weigh-in coming up in a few short moments. It is Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin, the 100th championship fight night in the legacy of the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Do not miss it. The weigh-in coming your way in a few short moments. Las Vegas, make some noise. It's weigh-in time. Garden Arena here in Las Vegas. It is going to be a sensational night of boxing, the 100th championship fight night in the history of the MGM Grand Garden Arena. It is PBC Pay-Per-View on Prime Video. Gervonta Davis, Frank Martin go head-to-head. But first up, we have outstanding prelims that come your way at 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 local time. Miguel Flores handling the ring announcing duties for those matchups. We have Elijah Garcia, 21 years of age, 16-0, 13 knockouts, from Phoenix, Arizona, matching up against Kyron Davis from Wilmington, Delaware, trained under the guidance of Stephen Breadman Edwards. Also, to begin our prelim portion, this is going to be a heck of a matchup between, it features Mexico against the Philippines. From Mexico, you have Eduardo Ramirez, who has been in the ring against the likes of Isaac Cruz. He's a tricky southpaw, taking on Mark Magsayo of the Philippines, who had a heck of a battle last March against Brandon Figueroa. Magsayo, the former WBC featherweight champion of the world. So, those are our first two prelim matchups, our pay-per-view 4 championship fights. We'll start off with Carlos Adames squaring off and defending his WBC middleweight championship of the world against the 2012 United States Olympian, a man who's been inside the ring against the likes of Tim Tszyu. It is Terrell Gausha, looking to become a world champion. Also, we have Gary Antoine Russell from Capitol Heights, Maryland, 17-0, with all of his wins coming by way of knockout. He has a 100% knockout percentage, as he will match up against Alberto Puello, who's undefeated from the Dominican Republic. Puello, the former WBA super lightweight champion of the world. That one is for the interim WBC super lightweight championship of the world. Co-main event, David Benavidez, the super middleweight champion of the world. He goes up making his light heavyweight debut against Oleksandr Gvozdyk back in December of 2018. Knocked out Adonis Stevenson by vicious 11th round knockout. He's the former WBC light heavyweight champion of the world from Ukraine. In our main event, Gervonta Tank Davis goes after victory number 30. He's undefeated, coming off of a spectacular performance last April at nearby T-Mobile Arena when he knocked out Riot Garcia. He will square off against Frank Martin, who's 18-0, 12 knockouts, trained under the guidance of Derek James. Ladies and gentlemen, from top to bottom, this is a massive night in boxing. It is being promoted by GTD Promotions along with TGB Promotions, Samson Boxing, and Man Down Promotions. I will now turn it over to Miguel Flores for the weigh-in. Las Vegas, make some noise! It's weigh-in time officially.
Return of superstar Tank Davis. Will he steamroll unbeaten power puncher Frank the Ghost Martin? Bring it on.
Let's go!
Plus, David Benavidez is on a mission to wreak havoc on the light heavyweight division, starting with Oleksandr Gvozdyk, 2 of boxing's biggest names, 1 explosive event. Warriors only. Saturday, June 15th, live on PBC Pay-Per-View on Prime Video.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to MGM Grand Garden Arena here in Las Vegas, Nevada, as Premier Boxing Champions presents our official weigh-in. Tomorrow will mark the 100th championship fight night in this historic venue, and it is all headlined by 2 world title bouts, Tank versus Martin and Benavidez versus Gvozdyk, only on pay-per-view with Prime Video. It is all brought brought to you by GTD Promotions, TGB Promotions, Samson Boxing, and Man Down Promotions. Sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours, and El Mexicano brand products, bringing authentic sabor to your table. Somos El Mexicano. Preceding the pay-per-view tomorrow, we have our PBC on Prime Video prelims, and they all kick off at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 2:30 p.m. Pacific. Now, let's meet our first bout on those prelims. It will be 8 rounds in the super featherweight division. Introducing first with a record of 15 victories, including 9 wins by knockout, opposite of 8 defeats and 2 draws. Representing Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico, here is Angel Cachorro Contreras. And now introducing his opponent. His record stands unblemished, 5 victories with 3 by knockout. Representing Whittier, California, here is Justin Chosen Veloria. Once again, this is 8 rounds in the super featherweight division. We have a weight limit of 130 pounds. All right, getting set to step onto the scale first. Once again, out of Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico, here is Angel Cachorro Contreras. 129.8, 129.8 for Contreras. And now, stepping onto the scale once again, the young and talented Justin Chosen Veloria. 129.8, also 129.8 for Veloria. This will be our first bout, kicking things off for the PBC prelims tomorrow on Prime Video, live and free. Angel Contreras taking on Justin Veloria. All right, now let's introduce our second fight for the prelims. Once again, PBC presents 10 rounds in the super featherweight division. Coming to the stage now with a record of 28 victories, 13 by knockout, opposite of 3 defeats and 3 draws. Out of Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico, here is Eduardo Zurtito Ramirez. And now introducing his opponent with 25 victories, 17 by knockout, and just 2 defeats. Representing Tagbiloran City, Bohol, Philippines, he is the former WBC Featherweight World Champion, the action-packed fighter, Mark Magnifico Magsayo. And now getting set to step onto the scale first. Once again, out of Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico, here is the talented Eduardo Zurtito Ramirez. 129 on the dot, 129 for Ramirez. And now let's bring his opponent, the former featherweight champion, Mark Magnifico Magsayo. 129.4, 129.4 for Magsayo. This will be our second fight on the PBC prelims with Prime Video tomorrow night. Eduardo Zurdito Ramirez against Mark Magnifico Magsayo. Once again, our PBC prelims begin on Prime Video tomorrow night, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 2:30 p.m. Pacific. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to begin our pay-per-view portion of things. Let's turn it over to the legendary Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Your microphone, thank you. Jimmy, can we double check where we are? Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you, and we welcome you to the world-famous MGM Grand Garden Arena, celebrating 100 championship nights of boxing as Premier Boxing Champions presents the official weigh-in for the PBC Pay-Per-View on Prime special event brought to you by GTD Promotions and TGB Promotions. Well, fans, our opening pay-per-view attraction features a world championship bout. It is brought to you in association with Samson Boxing. Let's bring our fighters to the scale and the stage at this time. First, we present, originally from Cleveland, Ohio, now training in Southern California, a 2012 U.S. Olympian, a current world ring contender. Please welcome Terrell Gausha. And we welcome to the stage at this time his opponent, training in Las Vegas by way of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, the newly crowned WBC middleweight champion of the world, introducing Carlos Bronco Adames. And it looks like our fighters are just about ready to come to the scale at this time. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Middleweight Championship of the World. Weight limit on this fight is 160 pounds. First, please welcome to the scale the challenger, record of 24-3-1 with 12 knockouts, making his second attempt at a world title. Please welcome Terrell Gausha. Terrell Gausha weighs in
right at the limit of 160 pounds. 160 pounds. And now his opponent, the defending champion with a record of 23-1 with 18 knockouts, making the first defense of his title. Here is the defending WBC middleweight champion of the world, Carlos Bronco Adames. Carlos Adames weighs in at 159.2 pounds. 159.2 for the champion. There they are, ladies and gentlemen. Opens up our pay-per-view portion of our big night of action tomorrow night. It's the WBC Middleweight Championship of the World. Carlos Bronco Adames versus Terrell Gausha. Premier Boxing Champions continues with our official weigh-in. At this time, we present a battle of undefeated super lightweights, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing, presented in association with Samson Boxing. At this time, we welcome our fighters to the stage. First, fighting out of Las Vegas by San Juan de la Maguana in the Dominican Republic. Here is the former undefeated WBA super lightweight champion of the world. Please welcome Alberto La Vispa Puello. And now we invite his opponent to the stage at this time, representing the renowned boxing family from Capitol Heights in Maryland. He'll be making his first attempt at a world title. Here is the undefeated world rank contender, Gary Antoine Russell. All right, fans, let's bring our fighters to the scale. 12 rounds of boxing. The interim WBC Super Lightweight World Championship weight limit is 140 pounds. First, undefeated at 22-0 with 10 knockouts, the former undefeated WBA Super Lightweight World Champion, Alberto La Vispa Puello. 139.8 pounds, 139.8 pounds for Alberto Puello. And now to the scale, his opponent with an outstanding perfect record of 17 wins, no losses, all 17 wins coming by way of knockout. The 2016 U.S. Olympian, the hard-hitting, undefeated world rank contender. Here is Gary Antoine Russell. $138.2 pounds, 138.2 for Gary Antoine Russell. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have our fighters square up, face off.
The last time they'll see each other before they meet in the center of the ring tomorrow night. And we want to bring to your attention the action is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. And El Mexicano brand products bringing authentic sabor to your table. Somos El Mexicano. Fighters going to square off just one moment. Interim WBC Super Lightweight Championship, Gary Antoine Russell versus Alberto La Vispa Puello. And now let's hear from fighters, and to lead us in this interview, please welcome talented combat sports reporter Jordan Plant.
We'll have my colleague Martin Batzer translate for us. Puello, 2 undefeated fighters. Someone's always got to go. How do you ensure you get the victory tomorrow night?
Esta pelea entre 2 peleadores invictos. Alguien lo tiene que perder. ¿Cómo ves que será esta pelea mañana por la noche?
Será una pelea bastante interesante, ya que yo vengo a dar el todo por el todo. Me preparé muy bien para esta oportunidad y vengo a dejarlo todo arriba del ring y a darle un buen espectáculo a todo este público bello.
It's going to be a great fight, a very interesting fight. I came here to give you my all, and most importantly, to give you all beautiful fans a great fight to remember.
Most of your fights have been in the Dominican Republic, and this is your first time fighting in Las Vegas on pay-per-view. How much more added motivation does that bring?
Esta va a ser tu primera vez peleando en un pay-per-view en Las Vegas después de tantos años luchándola en República Dominicana. ¿Hay un significado especial para vos en estar en este escenario?
Claro que sí. Significa mucho para mí estar de vuelta y en un escenario como este me siento muy contento. Gracias a PBC por darme la oportunidad. Quiero demostrar que soy digno de pelear y ganar un título mundial nuevamente y dar las mejores peleas.
Well, I am really grateful and really happy to be in this stage. It does have great meaning to me because it's going to be a great card. I want to thank PBC for giving me this opportunity, and I want to prove to all of you that I'm worthy of this stage, that I can fight for world titles, and that I'm eager to go for more.
Thank you so much. Buena suerte.
Gracias.
Now we'll hand up. I want to say happy birthday, the big 28 today. Guys, give it up for him. It's his birthday today. All right, so you're 17-0, 17 KOs, but Puello's the first opponent you'll face with an undefeated record, and he's a former world champion. Does that type of challenge excite you at all?
Not at all. It's just a stepping stone. You know, I'm doing this for the Washingtonians and everybody back in Capitol Heights. You know, it's a lineage that I gotta work forward towards. You know, and I'm gonna just keep that hard work and blood, sweat, and tears that I done went through. You know, I'm not gonna let that go in vain. So I'm gonna come up here and show my showcase style and let everybody know that I'm coming to win. Stay victorious, keep my O, keep my knockout, everything, you know what I mean? I'm gonna give y'all a juicy show. I know that's what y'all come to see.
I heard you say earlier this week that you feel like Puello's gonna make you have to bring a few more tools out of your arsenal. Can you give the fans a hint on what those tools might be?
I can't give y'all that hint. I'll be giving y'all too much sauce, you know, but just stay tuned. It's gonna be a juicy match. This is the perfect platform to show y'all.
All right, we're looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Gary Antoine. Good luck tomorrow night.
All right, fans, here we go. Premier Boxing Champions continues with the official weigh-in, as at this time we move to our co-main event of the evening and a battle of champions for the interim WBC Light Heavyweight World title, brought to you by GTD Promotions and TGB Promotions in association with Samson Boxing. welcome our fighters to the stage at this time. First, training in Southern California by way of Kharkiv, Ukraine. Please welcome the former WBC light heavyweight champion of the world, Oleksandr "The Nail" Gvozdyk. And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent from Phoenix, Arizona, making his light heavyweight debut, the two-time WBC super middleweight champion of the world, known as the Mexican Monster, David El Monstro Benavidez. All right, fans, here we go. Let's bring our fighters to the scale. Once again, 12 rounds of boxing, WBC Interim Light Heavyweight World Title, weight limit 175 pounds. First, please welcome a 2012 Olympic bronze medalist with a record of 20 wins, only one defeat with 16 wins coming by way of knockout. Making his return to the ring, please welcome to the scale the former WBC light heavyweight champion of the world, Oleksandr "The Nail" Gvozdyk. $174.2 pounds, 174.2 for Oleksandr "The Nail" Gvozdyk. And his opponent holds an undefeated record of 28-0 with 24 knockouts. One of the young, hard-hitting stars of the sport, the two-time WBC super middleweight champion of the world, David El Monstro Benavidez. 174.2, 174.2 for the Mexican Monster.
Right on the tape, David. Here we go, Oleksandr.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. It's 12 rounds of boxing, the WBC Interim Light Heavyweight World Title. David El Monstro Benavidez versus Oleksandr "The Nail" Gvozdyk in a co-main event of the evening. Now to hear from both of our fighters, once again, please welcome acclaimed combat sports reporter, Jordan Plant.
Oleksandr, you've been at 175 your entire career. You fought some of the best in that division. What's your final message to David Benavidez before tomorrow night?
Well, now it's time to fight one of the best in 168 who moving up in 175.
Enough said right there. And you took a 4-year break from boxing, but you came back last year in 2023. What would it mean to you to win the WBC interim title tomorrow night?
It's an awesome and great opportunity to become a two-time world champion and become, in general, world champion again.
Well, thank you so much, and good luck tomorrow night. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
Now I'll head over to David. David, good to see you. The last time you stepped on the scale anywhere close to 175 was in 2015, almost 10 years ago. What can the fans expect to see from you tomorrow night with that extra weight and that extra energy?
You could see an even more destructive monster in the ring, and I feel amazing. I can't wait to go in there and give you guys a hell of a performance. Pero le quiero dar las gracias a toda mi gente y toda mi raza que vinieron a apoyar. Los quiero mucho y sábado vamos por la victoria.
And what's your prediction for this fight?
I'm going for the knockout. The monster always goes for the knockout, and that's what I'm going to get this Saturday.
What kind of message do you think that's going to send to the light heavyweight division if you, at your first fight at this weight class, if you can stop a guy?
It's just going to let everybody know I'm here, and the new champion is coming soon.
All right, good luck. We'll see you in the ring tomorrow night. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
And here we go from the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Premier Boxing Champions presents the weigh-in for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by GTD Promotions, TGB Promotions, and Man Down Promotions. Sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. And El Mexicano brand products, bringing authentic sabor to your table. Somos El Mexicano. Well, fans, let's bring our fighters to the stage at this time. First, the challenger from Detroit and training in Dallas, Texas. He'll be making his first attempt at a world title. Here is the undefeated world-ranked lightweight contender, escorted by his promoter, former welterweight world champion Errol Spence. Please welcome Frank, the Ghost Martin. And now introducing the defending world champion from Baltimore, Maryland. Please welcome the popular, the hard-hitting, five-time three-division champion of the world, Gervonta Tank Davis. And it looks like our fighters are ready to get started a little bit early. First, let's bring them to the scale. 135 pounds is the weight limit for the WBA Lightweight Championship of the world. First, ladies and gentlemen, undefeated with a record of 18 wins, no losses, and 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the undefeated all-action challenger, introducing Frank, the Ghost Martin. 134.4 pounds, 134.4 for Frank the Ghost Martin. And now we bring the defending champion to the scale. His record, 29 wins, no losses, 27 knockouts to his credit. One of boxing's pound-for-pound superstars, the defending WBA Lightweight Champion of the World, Gervonta the Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis weighs in at a trim and ready 133.4 pounds. The fight is on for the WBA Lightweight Championship of the World.
Socks on. 133.4. Oh, 134. Let's get your guy, coach.
ladies and gentlemen, the WBA Lightweight World Championship main event, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Frank the Ghost Martin. Do not blink, do not miss this all-action main event of the evening. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from both of our fighters. I turn it over to Jordan Plant.
Frank, that was a very intense stare down. Can you tell the fans what was being said right there?
We just both ready. You know, we ready for tomorrow. I'm stepping on his ass tomorrow, period.
Do you enjoy being the underdog in all this, and does it give you extra motivation?
I love it. I love it. I'm so happy that there's so many people in this arena that's sleeping on me. It's a blessing. You know what I mean? I'm a dog and I'm coming out on top. I don't give a damn who he is. I'm coming out on top tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, you have the opportunity to change your life if you win this fight. How surreal is this moment for you?
This everything. You know, this moment right here, you know what I mean? If y'all see me get emotional in that arena tomorrow after I get that dub, it's from all the hard work that I've been putting in, all the sacrifices. You know what I mean? I'm coming out on top tomorrow, so just know that.
Good luck, thank you so much. That's a very focused Frank Martin, everybody. Now I'll head over to Gervonta Davis. The WBA Lightweight Champion of the World, Gervonta Davis. Your face-offs are always intense, and I saw you even went over there and said a little something to him in the beginning. Is that something you plan, or you just kind of feel it in the moment?
I couldn't hear you, I'm sorry.
No, you're good, I'll say it again. I saw you walk over there earlier and say something to Frank Martin, and your face-offs are always kind of fun. Is that something you plan, or do you just feel that in the moment?
I'm just getting in his head. He can't even make weight. He's been working for a minute to make weight, so.
All right, so you don't plan that. Well, I want to know, is this going to be the most dangerous Gervonta Davis we've seen yet? Because you said you've got a lot built up. You're going to take it out on him.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy out there. So I hope he prepared and hope he's been training hard. So tomorrow is going to be a great night for the sport of boxing.
I agree with that. Now, I know you bring out some of the biggest rap artists in the game when you walk to the ring. Who's walking with you to the ring tomorrow night?
Got to turn in or be here tomorrow to see.
Can you give the fans a hint and say what city is he from?
Can't do that, can't do it.
All right, well, we're gonna be looking forward to that. And I also wanna know, you've been out 14 months. Have you been practicing that backflip?
Yeah, you wanna see?
Hey, love it. Good luck to you tomorrow night. Everyone, Gervonta Davis.
Attendance. That's the main event of the evening. WBA Lightweight World Title and a big night of action taking place. Pay-per-view begins at 5 p.m. It's Premier Boxing Champions presents PBC Pay-Per-View on Prime. We'll see you then, everybody. See you tomorrow night.
Return of superstar Tank Davis. Will he steamroll unbeaten power puncher Frank the Ghost Martin? Bring it on.
Let's go!
Plus, David Benavidez is on a mission to wreak havoc on the light heavyweight division, starting with Oleksandr Gvozdyk, two of boxing's biggest names, one explosive event. Warriors only, Saturday, June 15th, live on PBC Pay-Per-View on Prime Video.